Computer recording.
All right. You know, I will never do anything to embarrass you. You are my friend, Guillermo.
Yeah, right.
He goes, yeah, right. And that was part of the whole thing with when Guillermo was having.
Hi, I'm Justice Curry, and I'm talking from my closet. This interview is gonna be. He goes like this. He does this. He goes like, I'm telling you a story, but I'm really showing you my stuff. Like, no, go.
Look at me. I'm so.
Look at me. I have a bunch of
I'm
toys.
like a peacock. I like to have that.
Repros.
The reproductions. Yeah.
Hey guys, Justice Curry with you. I have a amazing, epic, super fantastic episode for you today. With me in studio, well, through Zoom, is Guillermo. Guillermo is the director of Plastic Crack. Hopefully you've already checked out Plastic Crack, but he has another project called Plastic Chats. Now we're going to go into it. You like toys, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. So we're going to kind of dive into it, see what it's all about, and I'm going to play the trailer. I think I might get sued for playing the trailer, but I don't care. Let's play the trailer right now, shall we?
In a world, actually, in a world where everything changed. The year is 2020, and during the craziest pandemic that we've seen, you are a filmmaker trapped at home with a lot of toys to talk about. Lots of toys to talk about. So how do you survive the quarantine? You call your toy friends and chat about toys.
In the community, there's only 3 known.
There are 3 of these known within the pony collecting community.
The makers of the Plastic Crack documentary series, while we keep editing the following season.
The crown jewel of your collection, which is, who are you going to call?
The real Ghostbusters.
There you go.
It's a modern prototype, so this was a mock-up. It's an unpainted face.
Oh, look at that.
This is this established brand. This isn't just toys. It's an intellectual property.
Wave 2 of Fluid Blast, which is the most elusive G.I. Joe ever made.
I got a certificate of authenticity from Ruby Blast.
For the first time in his career, filmmaker Guillermo Olivo steps in front of the cameras to bring you Plastic Chats.
Hey guys, Justice Curry with you. I have an amazing, super fantastic episode and a bunch of other adjectives that I'll leave at the very end. But with me in studio is a very famous. Next, you got George Lucas, you got Steven Spielberg, and you got Guillermo. Guillermo is a very good friend of mine that worked on the Plastic Crack series. Check it out on Amazon. There'll be a link down below. But more importantly, we want to talk about and dive into his latest project, which is called Plastic Chats. So without further ado, even though you're by yourself watching on your phone or in front of your computer, give it up. Big round of applause for Guillermo.
You have to explain that the popularity that you just meant, like that analogy between Spielberg and Lucas is just in your world.
No, it's
not in the real world. I don't think. Like a shirt.
You know, yeah, thanks. Have you ever heard of the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander? Obviously, I'm kidding because anybody watching this can see behind you. You have an array, a buffet of G.I. Joes, so you know the lore and the backstory of the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, which is.
Yeah, I wish I can. I mean, mine is stuck in there, so you have seen this.
I wish I could say the same, but you have my nemesis featured on your shirt. I'm not even going to mention the podcast name. My wife is going to kill me. Oh, crap, I mentioned it. But Pete is the yin to my yang. I'm the good. He's the bad angel. I'm the good one.
Well, this was a coincidence because I just went to work with it. I was just carrying this around the whole day. Everybody was like, "What's up with the guy with the peacock?" But that's a long story. No worries. I'm on your side of the road now. I mean, I don't know what happened with Steven, and I'm on your side of the road there. Yeah. There's no love for me anymore or on that side.
You know how it goes. You know how it goes in the toy world. But you know what? We're not going to talk about My Wife Is Going to Kill Me podcast, even though it's a fun podcast, and we joke around. I'm friends with the guys in Michigan. We want to talk about plastic chats and the backstory, because right now I'm going to date the video. It's 2021, but several years ago you were involved in a project called Plastic Crack.
Still involved.
Yeah. Still in the process with season 2. I cannot wait. There's not a week that goes by that I don't get a message from someone saying, "Hey, what's going on with Plastic Crack?"
You want to talk about that? Let's talk about Plastic Crack.
I want to put you on the spot. What's the deal with Plastic Crack?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be straightforward with that. I mean, Plastic Crack has a special. He is at the top of my projects, not just because I'm a collector, but that's a project that I as well as I do, that I carry that project with my own blood and sweat, and I went against a bunch of stuff that all of us behind the scenes know. But it was a project that it was very, very challenging, if you will, to launch for a myriad of reasons that doesn't matter. But the fact that it is about collectors, I always wanted to explore what's behind this wonderful addiction of filling up rooms with plastic, and and your story, that's how we met. And like we always say, the glue in this whole thing is actually the relationships that comes with it. So getting to know you through Carlos Verón, and then getting to know these yahoos from the show, and that's the part that I really, really cherish about doing Plastic Crack. So season 2 was supposed to be released way sooner in the game, but I was trying to nail down 3. I'm gonna be careful in what I say here. I was trying to nail down 3 very, very important interviews abroad, which one of them you were doing the lobby for.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember it. Correct. So
of course
they actually materialized, but the pandemic came in, and we have to put everything on hold. I was not gonna risk anyone, even abroad or whatever. I was not gonna have anyone walking. It was so unknown what was gonna happen with the pandemic, of how it was gonna affect us, and we all went into quarantine and all that. So I just put the whole thing on hold. I had the green light to go and record these interviews, and I'm like, I think it's worth the wait, and it definitely was. We were able to do those interviews afterwards. We're processing all that right now. I'm trying to see how to rewrite season 2. I'm gonna have to take your story out so I can add this new stuff. But I know that you're
editing me out. I knew it,
out, man.
Carlos was right. You
edited me out. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding.
How I acted that thing.
What are you talking about? You're this big celebrity. You're in every toy documentary now. Like, I just saw you a few weeks ago in Action Figure Adventure. And by the way, that was an amazing. I'm so glad that you actually went. Yeah, I bought mine. It's over there as well. I actually went and became a part of it, because I was so happy to see the outcome, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, just because I don't want to talk about the actual narrative. But I was so glad that you were part of it. Kudos to Rob and Jay. They did an amazing. They always do.
Oh,
they did an amazing job, and I love the series, and I hope they keep. I hope they have season 2, 3, 4, and all the way to 10.
Yeah.
But anyways, I know you have this soft spot for Canadians, so it was just, it's just a matter of time.
What, eh?
Well, yeah.
And that's an inside joke. People always, because I grew up on the east side of Michigan, right in the Thumb area. So
you grew up on the northern side of Michigan, right across the border.
All my childhood TV shows were Canadian broadcasting shows. Fred Penner's Place, Mr. Dress Up, Pinwheel, all these things.
Which they're working on a Mr. Dress Up documentary.
I know. I'm super excited.
And when they announced it, I saw you getting all happy and all that. I'm like, I haven't even seen this show. You have to be a Canadian to get that excited. And of course,
so I got that accent. So I watched that TV. I grew up with those guys. They were my Mr. Rogers. They were
You're an illegal immigrant, Justice. Just say it publicly.
Don't be telling people that.
That's fine. People love Canadians. You know.
What are you talking about?
We get the hardest part of it because we're come from the south. Those of you who come from the north, you're all like super welcome here with no hesitation. You know.
Well, let's talk. What about the elephant? You're talking about my accent, and you got the heaviest accent of any one of my friends that I know. What is your accent? I think yours is a fake accent, just for attention.
I know you keep saying that. I know you keep saying that, but I'm pretty sure in Kalamazoo the only weird accent is the Canadian accent, because there's what, like 20,000 people in Kalamazoo, and you have arrested half of them.
I plead the fifth. I'm not gonna tell anything about that.
So anyways, Plastic Crack is currently being rewired, but that's good. That's good because a lot of things change even after we make those interviews. There were things that happened. I just won't be able to disclose that, but there were people that we shot and that we filmed, and they're no longer here, regrettably.
Right.
So we have to treat this with respect, and we have to sort of like turn it into a tribute in some ways of these people who lend us time and stuff. Yes. So it's going to be emotional, but it's going to be different. It's going to be different than season 1. Yeah. It's going to be different than the one that you actually saw. I remember you saw rough cut of season 2. It's going to be a little bit different, but I think it's going to, on my end, from my own perspective, it's worth the wait. I know that there are people who just gave up and say, well, we've been waiting for this for 2 years, but if you look at the bigger budget series and stuff, sometimes it takes the same amount of time, and I just have 5% of what they have on the budget. So, you know,
Guillermo,
gotta give me some credit.
This popped in my head, but I think it's a dynamite idea, but I need your help organizing this. You know I got dynamite ideas, right? So when you introduce season 2, we should have a red carpet event. Rent a movie theater, set up tables, booths. We'll post it all over social media and have people bring toys. We'll set up a little swap meet and then premiere season 2 of Plastic Crack.
Where do you foresee this happening? Where?
Somewhere, I don't know, central USA. Kentucky.
Kentucky. We'd love to do it in Kentucky.
Illinois.
Yeah, of course. What's up with you in Chicago? You've been hanging around Chicago.
No, I went to the Kane County Toy Show. Hands down, the best toy show in the world. It's massive, wonderful. And yeah, I went there over the last weekend, found a ton of treasures, but all these people, I didn't tell you this yet, people came up to me talking about Plastic Crack and saying, what's in that box? The cliffhanger at the end. I swear to God, someone asked me.
The only thing that I can say about that box is that people won't be disappointed.
Yeah, good. I can't wait. Well, let's change gears to Plastic Chats. So we got
all right. So that's why I jump and said let's talk about let's give an update on Plastic Crack, because that leads to Plastic Chat. So we're quarantined. Like on my other side of the company, as you know, not everybody knows this, and but as you know, I used to film and direct live events, and usually musically oriented or music related event with large crowds, and we put this big productions with lots of people in the audience, and of course coronavirus came and just swapped the whole thing and took it to hell. So in our line of business on that side, we're reinventing how we do this. So now we're just like a streaming concerts with no audience, but in that process everything went into a full stop. So it was a combination of having my line of business pretty much freeze, and then the self-quarantine, helping flatten the curve of the spread and all that, and add to that fear of the unknown, and then You know, we got a few contracts with news outlets, and they were doing some of the specials that air during that. But still, I went to, as you know, never being home, because I was always on the road and I was always somewhere else. And you used to call me, and I was like, I'm on a different time zone. So the sun is not even up right now. So I'll call you later. I went from that to lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, I'm a storyteller, and I want to tell stories, and I want to keep talking about toys.
Yeah.
I want to keep talking about toys. So like the trailer said, like Eduardo made a copy. Like, so the filmmaker got locked down. So what did he do? He called his toy friends and talked about, I can't remember the coffee because I didn't come up with that. So basically this is not going to be a continuous show. We tape 20 curated episodes. They're like an hour long each, so it's 20 hours of content pretty much. The first 4 are out. Not by relevance, not by importance. We spend quite a few, quite a great deal of time deciding how to craft this conjunction of things and making sure that we didn't get like 4 Star Wars oriented episode all together, and that's just to spread them out. And so the first batch is actually Ghostbusters with Bobby and Robert Barbieri, which he talks a little bit more. It's not just Ghostbusters. He talks a lot of, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Ken and Robin Hood, and he's an 80s mega collector.
Yes, he is.
But then I got Jenny Surface, who I almost harassed to have her on camera. I was like begging her, let's do this, because she's a very shadow collector in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, we chat pretty often, and her level of knowledge of toys in general, not just My Little Pony, it's overwhelming. So ever since then, she invited me to a panel at the My Little Pony Fair and Convention that they put together. Summer Haze put that together, and ever since then, I'm being like, we need to get you on camera. People need to do, you know what, I like to share this type of thing. So she was a must-have, and I'm so happy that I was able to get her on camera, because that's one of my favorite episodes. Like, it came out wonderful. We do this very bold, is a very bold idea, because she talks about foreign variants of the My Little Pony line, and I make comparisons with the G.I. Joe variants in the foreign world.
Yes.
So we start exploring what happened with Estrella in Brazil while they were doing My Little Ponies in a certain way. Well, it turns out that G.I. Joes were also being affected by some of the decisions and stuff like that, and then we literally went around the globe. The third episode was another very special episode of that I actually wanted to have him for season 2, but then again, pandemic. I was able to sit down with Chad Huckle, which he was the creator and filmmaker of the Collectible Spectacle series, the one that became a viral sensation. The only recorded footage of Eris Devon's collection before she sold everything, and then also the behind the scenes of Mark Belomo's book.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
Talking to Chad, this has been in the making since, I believe, the last JoeCon or something like that, and talking to him, I love that episode as well, because I love all 20, but that episode is also very, very interesting, because it's almost like watching the when you turn on the director's commentary and some features and Blu-rays, well, it's like watching again, listening to Chad recounting some of the stories and also debunking myths, because with Air, and especially with Air, there's so many myths and legends and urban stuff, like, and I think I ask every question that whomever is interested in that would have done the same thing. And then the fourth one is Teresa Delgado. She's a big league podcaster. She has like 5 different shows, and she's also a collector. But in every in every one of her shows, she talks about the fandom, or she has a Star Wars show, a Harry Potter show, and she talks about the fandom, the movies, the spells, the book. But I felt by just listening to her shows that she never got the opportunity to talk about her collecting side.
Yeah,
and that
right,
was super cool. That was super
neat.
cool to to cross the border and to talk to the female collector of that. That's another thing that I've been trying to do since Plastic Rack 1, like bunking that this is not a boys club. There's a lot of female collectors out there. There is. Just, they have rooms as impressive as yours, and so that's the first.
Possible?
That is possible, very possible, especially yours.
So with these episodes, how can people watch these? What are they available on?
They're okay. So now we're doing this. It's not like we invented the system, but we're doing this thing that I believe is going to be more accepted. We have the video version is currently only on Vimeo on demand for rent. The lowest price that they allow us to set was $2 for the 4 episodes. It's rental.
50 cents an episode.
It's like 50 cents an episode.
Yeah.
Not even a freaking coffee, right?
Right.
And it's 4 hours of content. Let me reiterate on that. But the audio version, the way that I did them, and I was thinking of that from the get-go, I wanted to do a podcast at the beginning. And then, Eduardo and everybody that works with me were like, no, do it on video. But the do it on video was forcing me to be on camera. And that's something that's not really my thing. So, but again, the COVID made us reinvent what we're doing. And now I'm allowing myself to this type of things more, right?
Yeah.
So we made it into video, but I was like, you know what? I still want to have that podcast audio version of it, because at least on my end, I stopped listening to radio. I don't listen to radio anymore. Like when I do when I used to go to the office, like when I get out, when I'm working out or whatever, I listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't listen to radio anymore. So I pictured, you remember those times back in the 90s when you used to listen to radio, Saturday night radio, that type of stuff. So the show is like that. It's like a radio show, like a 90s radio show that could be easily enjoyed, just listen only. But if you want to see it, we also have the video, and the video is not like what we're doing right now. It's not just two faces back and forth, because regrettably, and to the dismay of everyone involved, I cannot keep things simple, because the purpose was like, let's just do this really quick during the pandemic and get it out, because everybody's trapped, so we can get content out, so people can get distracted. And it was very rough a year ago when we were filming this. So let's get something out so they can distract them. But then I go, well, I think we should do like a stop motion for the opening sequence and
complicate it to make it better.
And then I'm like, well, I don't know if I just do this. Why don't we, why don't we set them on a set and have them rotating and do a close up? And I kind of want to see the emblem. Next thing you know, we set this studio up where tables and tables of toys, and I was freaking out because most of the toys were my toys. Yeah, and I was freaking out, like, well, let me place them on the and then they were saying like, dude, if you don't let us do this, we're gonna spend weeks doing this.
Right.
And
so you have some different video, because most people are ADHD. They got two people talking right now like we're doing. They want some eye candy, and obviously we have some eye candy here and whatnot, but you got some extra things. And you taught me a valuable thing when you were over filming Plastic Crack. You said B-roll, and I went, what's B-roll? And you're like, just film the collection so people can take a break from looking at my mug talking and have some toys but my voice overlay. And I went, wow. And ever since you told me that, you'll notice in my videos I have B-roll now.
Correct. But like, for example, Jenny's and she took the time. I can't thank her enough, because we were debating like, so do you ship them over so I can film them? I can't travel to you so I can film them. And then I was even thinking of buying some, but then you'll be surprised of these prices for this foreign My Little Pony. Like some of them are on the thousands of dollars, and then I'm like, I am not spending 20 grand on My Little Pony just a 2-year-old. So she took the time to take specific pictures for it. So if you look at the video version of it, again, if you listen to it, you will enjoy the show. And granted, it's on Spotify, it's on Google Podcasts. I think it might be already on Apple Podcasts. If it's not, it's just a matter of a few days because they were processing still. There's this is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like in 6 different type of podcast outlets out there. There's no excuse to find it. You just need to Google it, and your favorite podcatcher will show up with it. You can still enjoy it, and you will have fun, hopefully, listening to it, because it was designed to be like a radio show. But if you want to see it, the toys that we're talking about in this episode, or the subjects that we're talking about in this episode, will be shown in a different myriad of ways. So we're filmmakers, so we can't just stay on the audio track. That's not my gig.
Gotcha. And you have 20 episodes. What's the plan? Is there going to be more episodes? Are you going to release them?
We're working in batches of 4. So you know how it is with like I can say, May 20, and then the outlet will go and say, well, we need 10 more days to process whatever. But the idea is not to have even a month of separation between each batch of episodes. So hopefully in a few weeks the next 4 will come out, and going on and on and on until we reach 20.
Nice. You were telling me, and I wish we were hitting the record button before we started this little interview. Can you show me and the people at home, because this is one of my very favorite figures, the referee, and kind of tell me what line that's from?
Why don't you show yours?
Oh,
go and pick up yours. Show your shorts. There you go. That's what I ain't understand. So mine is real, but that's a repro.
So I've always had this, Mexican referee.
It's not Mexican.
I don't, everything in South America.
It's Argentinian. I can't reach mine. I won't reach mine because it's all the way up top. What's up with this tiger?
This one's Mexican. It is, I know the white light's bleaching it out, but you can literally stick your hand in there like a tauntaun and crawl inside of it. But it's a cheap bootleg version of the Battle Cat. But this referee is kind of molded just like a He-Man figure a little bit. And you were showing me it a minute ago, and I go, I got the same one, and it's one of my favorite figures. But I don't know what line it's from.
You don't know the line it's from?
No.
Okay. All right. Let me show you the line. I'm getting the stuff. Now you got my attention.
I got them distracted, folks.
This needs to be properly explained. Let me undo this. Let me undo this camera thing. Gallery again, and unpin your video. Remove pin. Okay. So you were holding this figure. This is a real one. You have a custom.
No, mine's the real. Yours is the custom.
So just FYI, this is probably, so you can treat it with respect, the hardest one to find in that line. In Argentina, there was a wrestling show called Lucha Fuerte, which means strong wrestling, right? And Plastirama, who some of the Joe guys know as, was the toy company that got the license to produce G.I. Joe in the early, I would say late 80s, early 90s. They actually licensed this show, and they came out with figures for this wrestling show. It was an actual show, like the WWE, right?
Yeah.
So they did this line of figures with repurpose, which by the way, they didn't own this molds, but repurpose Top Toys mold. And the referee is very hard to find because the referee was part of a ring that came with it. that is also a repurposed ring. Can you see that fisto getting hit there?
Yes, look at that fist.
So these are actual characters. These represent wrestlers from the show, like real people from the show.
Yep.
But they use like they kind of repurposed some of the Top Toys molds and made Lucha Fuerte figures, which is technically is not. I don't think this qualifies as a bootleg, although it's a He-Man repurposed mold. But I don't think it qualifies as a bootleg because, like the spider, La Araña, this guy, it actually represents a wrestler that used to wear these colors and used to fight like that, and they were made by Plastirama.
Oh man, that is too cool.
So one of my favorite, I'm not gonna grab again that one because I need to show it, is this guy, which is, you know, that's not a He-Man head. It is a He-Man body, although he's taller than they're like probably an inch taller than He-Man. But he came with this thing
that doesn't fit properly.
Because, as you know, I don't know if you recognize
Ram-Man, right?
Correct. It's a Ram-Man piece. So they probably just got this piece, the molding to make this piece, and came up with this, gave him a belt, gave him the Plastirama logo, and gave him this weird sidekick. And they call it Plasti Boy. And this is the mascot of the company. This used to be the mascot of the company in Argentina. He also comes with a shield. Also a He-Man repurposed shield. So I don't think these are bootlegs. They're from Argentina. They're not from Mexico. So.
Tomato.
That's what. No. Actually, show me your white cat again, so I can show you something cool.
Yeah.
Something cooler. Show me that white cat. Where's that white cat coming from?
This is just the Mexican hollow nothingness. Actually, it took me years to find this. There was never one on eBay, and you can find a lot of modern. People are calling them vintage battle cats, but someone in Mexico is making them in their garage currently. But you can see
so they're recent.
Not this one.
Okay.
But the ones that you're seeing on the Facebook groups are on eBay that are red or orange or yellow. Those are like modern bootlegs. This is a vintage one. You can just tell. It's
just another Lucha Fuerte.
Yeah.
Argentinian guy.
Look at his face.
Yeah, this one comes with the He-Man head. But since you're showing cats, I'm going to show you this guy, who I recently got from your favorite country, Yugoslavia.
Oh, I love the Yugos. Yeah, buddy. Look at that. Oh my god.
Black Beauty from Yugoslavia. And that was a good deal, but I wanted him to, you know, to just keep company to a recent find that I think I showed you this guy. My brother actually found this guy. And according to Juan Carlos Ascurra Michelena, which is the favorite Venezuelan toy dealer of the black alleys of the world, this is the third one known in existence, but this is a Rotoplas Venezuelan black cat. So people would go and say, well, this is a Jim, the very
Jim one.
But it's not. This is the first, correct. This is the first run of Rotoplas that for some reason they came up with this weird type of battle cat before they actually made the green and because the difference between the Venezuelan Rotoplas and the American one, or you don't care?
I do care. Tell me.
Let me pin your camera so you don't use that. So you don't use me.
Oh, stop it. I'm not gonna do it.
Yes, you will. But, I'm pinning your camera so
you're so paranoid.
You don't see me standing. I'm actually going to show you a few cool stuff now that we're in the showing mode.
Good.
Deal?
Deal.
All right. Let me just grab this. Why is it that we can't just do a 20-minute video with you and there's always an hour long or whatever?
I know. It's a curse. I'm just so likable that people want to talk to me.
Handling this with careful. Why you got me show Motu stuff? I never show Motu stuff. That's also unusual. All
right, hit record.
It's recording. It's just your camera is the only one on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want it to focus on your crotch when you were standing up.
Correct.
But I would have zoomed in and then.
I'm gonna check the video before I send it though.
Don't you dare.
All right. I recently got. Where's the other guy? See, now I have this Mets here and all this expensive stuff.
My OCD is out of control.
So I recently got this Top Toys Skeletor. A friend of mine just hooked me up with that. I don't know if you can tell the difference a little bit. You probably won't because you call yourself a Motu expert, right?
Oh, gee. You're like my little brother. You just collect Motu because I collected it.
So my dad found a bunch of stuff, like my stuff still showing up there. He sent me a picture before he came not so long ago. Oh shoot, I should have grabbed this too. Saying, hey, I think these are yours. And then he found some Star Wars stuff still.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. This came from Argentina. And there were baggies, parachute baggies.
Oh my gosh.
Also bootleg He-Man, but it's a parachute.
And I've never seen that before.
Right, but it's called Hairplast. So instead of He-Man, they added that R, not because of female orientation. It's just they just wanted to make it sound cool. So what does it said? You love your beautiful Argentinian homeland with the culture of work and heritage of identity for your children. So this is like some really wacky stuff that I've been getting from Argentina lately. But what I wanted to show you, and I don't know why, they used to belong to me, and I got them graded. I'd sent to CAS upon arriving. But this is a Rotoplast Venezuelan Skelly, battle armor Skelly.
Really?
And as you know, there was this the reason why Venezuela did G.I. Joe and He-Man was because there was this how do I say this? The country back then went into a heavy recession, so they forbid and they forbid the market for imports. They strictly forbid imports. So the toys importers back then became overnight toy makers. So they basically just went to stay afloat. They went and bought factories, and they came up with out of nowhere. And Rotoplast got the license from Mattel to make He-Man, and it was He-Man in Venezuela was this major successful thing. But just like you can't import toys to sell, you have to produce whatever it is that you produce and sell it. You could not import plastic from overseas. So sometimes people mistake and I don't think it's even fair to say lack of quality or lack of QC control on toys, because they think, and I'm working on another project that I can't disclose much, but I've been interviewing some of the people involved in this whole process, and they say, like, look, it's not like we didn't want to use the proper blue. We used the only blue that we could find back then.
Available, yes, right.
So, but eventually they kind of caught up, and so they made there are several variations of the actual same. This is another Rotoplast, and it was made the same year, but it's used. I don't know if you can tell the difference.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see the hues of the blue on the difference, and even the chest piece.
Correct. I was going to say that even the chest piece. But what I like the most is the face. Look at the face.
Oh yeah, the detail and the different markings on it with this.
And it was just these companies were just trying to see how to do toys now.
Of course.
And then I recently found, this wasn't part of my thing. I found it through a friend of mine who had like, hey, you still have your toys? And they're like, yeah. So show them to me. And then my brother was there, and I'm like, drop whatever you're doing right now and just go and pick this up. Don't ask questions. So he found this Cobra can, which up until now, and again, according to my sources, this is the third one that have surfaced so far. But look at this mouth.
Oh my gosh.
He's not Mexican. He's not Mexican. He's actually a rhodoplast.
Oh, that white around the lips is what's so unique.
Correct. Like, that up until recently, we thought that only Mexico did that thing, but no, rhodoplast also did it.
That is cool, man.
And then there's the normal variations, like the the different colors on merman for rhodoplast as well.
That's a cool one. Yeah, are any of these your childhood ones?
Yeah, all of them, but Cobra Can. That Cobra Can came from a friend of mine that we actually went to elementary together. So
I have. Look at this.
That's a repro. What he's bringing is a repro. Mine's a real, but that's a repro, guys. So don't get fooled.
I hope this is not a repo, because reproduction ones, because it came from you. You gave me this.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
I even made a little placard for it. I said, Rhodoplast, childhood toy, a friend and director of Plastic Crack, Guillermo Olivio.
That's true. But you still have the how do you call it? The staff, the
there was no staff I got with him.
Yeah, it did. It actually belonged to this guy.
I didn't have a staff.
Yeah. I gave you a staff. I swear I did. And I gave you a Panther.
Blind box.
I gave you a Panther as well.
Yes, you did give me a Panther.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this was played by.
I totally forgot that I gave you that.
Yeah, there's like little sticky putty or something up here.
Yeah.
You got Stratos armor on him and Skeletor's head, and
which is is it soft?
Is it what?
It's a soft head.
Yeah,
right?
soft.
Yeah,
soft
that's
head.
a rhodoplast. The whole thing is rhodoplast. Made in Venezuela.
I want to get it graded. Would they grade this?
Yeah.
Bash by acclaimed film director.
They will get
Guillermo?
the A designation, which is archive. I don't think they're graded, but they will.
Yeah, it would be fine just to have it in a case.
And then this one, which my brother didn't like, and hence why it's so crisp, because he never played with it. And I actually asked him, like, why is it that you didn't like this guy? And then he made a really good point. Like, so you're in this fight, and everybody's like these big warriors, and your power is just to stretch your neck.
I know.
What good do you do? Like, get out of here.
See over the battlefield.
But look at this. Look at this color.
Wow, it is so bright blue and crisp. Wow.
But the weapon is different.
I don't see it. I don't see how it's different. Oh, is the top of it beveled or something?
The color and everything is different.
I can't tell the color.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, you have to see it in person and right next to an American one, which I don't have one.
Right.
But once you put them right next to each other, you go like, oh wow, just like here. So this is an American battle cat.
Yep.
You know, a regular guy, and this is a rhodoplast. So the difference of colors is very distinguished.
Yeah, you definitely see
the paint mask and everything.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Yeah.
I love how we're talking about He-Man more than Plastic Chats. That's the best part.
Well, that's what Plastic Chats was about. That's, let's talk about toys, and then we spend an hour talking about toys. And I even said myself that let's do 30-minute things, and they all come out an hour or something. So,
because basically we would have these conversations anyway. This is like a regular conversation we have of show and tell. We're just including, whoever wants to watch on social media to come and listen to our conversation. If they like it, awesome.
With the caveat that we did it, and then we added music and graphics and stop motion and cover it with B-roll, and then just made it into a TV format, pretty much.
Absolutely. No, I'm excited to see how it all unfolds. And for season dose of Plastic Crack, and I'll be waiting. And our big
you'll
red
be in the
carpet
credits.
event.
You'll be in the credits for sure.
That's okay.
On season 2.
Mother scratcher. I'm telling you, our idea. I'm calling it our idea now. of a toy swap meet, premiere, red carpet in the movie theater, plastic crack, and it'll be selling toys out in the lot. We'll rent a movie theater. It's going to be free. Anybody watching this right now that has connections of a movie theater and can kind of in Kentucky or
right.
north of,
or let's do it in Bolivar, Missouri.
Oh yeah. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah. All right. So there'll be tons of links down below on how to check out Plastic Chats, Plastic Crack, all sorts of fun stuff. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Nope.
We have 3 more shows coming.
3 more shows?
I'm this close to getting to a financial abyss because these things don't make money.
Yeah.
Don't leave money. Trust me, the outlet gets more than what we get.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, I got to a conclusion, and my partner actually pushed me into that as well. Like, man, you're so passionate about this thing. Like, you should dedicate more to it, and then put more energy into it. And even though that I do, you know, you get distracted with the daily job, the real job that pays the bills, which is not boring. I'm very thankful that I'm very lucky that I really love my job. But we have 3 more shows coming, and actually by the time of this recording, it will be literally a week prior to the launch of a YouTube show, which is going to be in a network, not just a standalone by us. It was acquired by a network on YouTube in Spanish.
Ooh, nice. Oh, we'll have to talk more about that when
you're gonna have to read the captions or whatever.
You'll translate for me, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Well, Canadian.
Awesome. I'm taking A. Well, thanks, man, for talking with me and shooting the breeze. And for all you at home, definitely please check out those links in the description. Check out Plastic Chats. And if Plastic Crack is new and you're like, you know what, I never pulled the trigger on it, I'm going to have some direct links because it is available and it is phenomenal. I've always told people this. I say, I don't make a dime for Plastic Crack, but if you don't like it,
neither do I.
Right. And I tell people, I go,
for the record,
to pay the $1 to watch it. And if you don't like it, I'll PayPal you that $1 back.
Like, and we started, I think Kari made the, I think it's actually live right now. She made this TeePublic thing, and now we're selling shirts and selling mugs and selling whatever, because she was like, well, we need to find a way to finance your middle-age crisis. That's how she worded it.
Well, just have shirts with Justice Curry's face on it.
I'm pretty sure that's sold out. I'm pretty sure they'll sell out like hotcakes.
Yeah, they would, man. You sell $50 a piece, people would be wearing those.
For sure. For sure.
All right. Well, thanks again, Guillermo. And all you at home, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out those links down below. So take care. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you, Justin.
Of course. Thanks, Guillermo.
So in order to record this, I have to end the chat.
Yeah. That's fine.
I can call you if you like.
No, I gotta go to bed. It's past my bedtime.
All right.
But it was
Thank you.
No, seriously, I had fun doing this.
Me too. I don't know why I started like the show and tell. That was just improvised, I swear.
No, that's perfect. I just making light of it. I was gonna do it myself too.
Cool.
So send me a message once you send those 2 links or email addresses or whatever, and I'll get those working on them in the next who knows when.
Just make sure to type your email address on Facebook Messenger, just so make sure I got the right email. But I'll send it right away.
All right, sounds good, my friend.
Thanks for doing this.
Of course, thank you.
All right. Well,
later,
bye.
Brother.
Bye.
See ya.